Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and there is something that I noticed recently in the Russians daily report, and it didn't come through very immediately to me. It was just something like I feel like something is weird. Then today I decided to really take a look closer what was the issue, and I realized that there was actually a Russian reorganization of the forces, the armies, the group of forces. They call it the group of forces. Basically they are armies. So there are there are 5 different armies operating in Ukraine right now, and these armies have been given different tasks. There is this reorganization that had happened to the various forces. So you may be familiar, if you have been following some time. You may have heard of the Zapad group of forces, Center group of forces, and the Yoke, the Vostok, the Dnieper, and they basically it's West, South, Center, East, and the Dnieper or Dnipro. So basically there is this reorganization of the responsibilities of which front line they are actually operating in. So for the Zapad group of forces, or the Western group of forces, they previously was in charge of the Kupiansk front, and so now they have expanded their responsibility. Now they are in charge of the entire of Kupiansk, Svetove, and Crimea front. So in essence, that's basically, so let me zoom out again. So this is basically this entire area here. So previously they were there's a back color, and you probably can't see it. So previously this is the front line that they're in charge of. Now they're in charge of the entire Luhansk border all the way down the Svetove front as well. So this is the increase. Let me what color should I use? This is included right now, and further south also at the Crimea front. Well, I can't really do it. so previously was here, and then now they have added more to here, and this is now the where they are in charge. They basically have taken charge of an entire Luhansk border region with Kharkiv region, and then also in the northern part in the Crimea forest, the Serebryansky forest region. So this entire system from of the Seversky Donetsk river all the way up to the Oskil river is now under their control, under this Zapad, right? Zapad group of forces. So yeah, I'm still not very familiar. Like, yeah, Zapad group of forces. So the center group of forces that previously was concentrating their fighting over at the Crimea front is now moved to the Avdiivka front. And in fact, perhaps I didn't really go back to look enough because I was busy doing today's mapping. But I believe that the entire Avdiivka offensive is under this center group of forces that was previously fighting in this Crimea front region. So they were fighting over here, and they have some very interesting assets. That was a pretty effective fighting within the forest region, and they were fighting in this area here. And looks like after the reorganization, they were sent to the Avdiivka front, and now they are exclusively fighting in this front line. So this entire front line right now, this is where they are operating right now, and they are currently attacking at Stepove, the Leshtoshkine, Shevene, Povomaisky, and Nevelsky. So this is the currently the operations that they are doing on. There's probably also some positional warfare around Novokalinove region and the Novobabutivka region. So this is the center group of forces that is currently redeployed from the Crimea front. So very interesting that they put one full army. So you have to understand there is a significance in this kind of thing. So previously they are pretty even out, the forces, but now they have the entire army focusing on just Avdiivka. Previously they were focusing on Crimea. Maybe the battle didn't turn out the way they want, or the Ukrainians are just too good at that area, or maybe that they just want to concentrate more on the Avdiivka front. And then there was this redeployment that we are seeing over at this area here. The southern group of forces, the Yoke group of forces, previously was in charge of Bakhmut and Avdiivka, and now they have shifted. They gave up the Avdiivka responsibility, and they have now taken on the Sivers front. together with Bakhmut. And I would say that this is actually a reduction in terms of the responsibility, because Avdiivka itself is pretty big, a front line. Together with Bakhmut, the responsibility is actually really heavy. Now with Sivers and Bakhmut, it seems like things is a lot not so intense for them. So previously they are holding doing this front line is ridiculous. That was in charge, that they were in charge. This front line is ridiculous for them. They have to fight Bakhmut, Battle of Bakhmut. So Battle of Bakhmut, they have to fight the Battle of Avdiivka. No, both Avdiivka and Bakhmut offensive is quite crazy. This is a lot. So now I'm not sure about New York. I think New York might be under them as well. So now instead they take up this area here, the Sivers, where this is actually the new part that they are in charge of. Currently, they are also conducting offensive operations. Particularly, if they are talking about the Bakhmut offensive over at Bogdanivka, Ivanivsky, Klishchevka, Kodyumivka, this area here. This is the main push, and now they have also initiated new offensive over in the Rosolivka as well as the Berestove towards the Vimka region, as well as of course the Luhansk Bilohorivka. So this is currently this new arrangement. They are the yoke group of forces responsibilities over here. So given if you look at the front line and if you look at Avdiivka being just, where's Avdiivka right now? Avdiivka is just below, slightly below. So now if I scroll down a bit, this is Avdiivka is only here. One full army is now pushing in this direction. You can see the center, the weight, how heavy the number of concentration of forces is at this one region. So this is where we see where the weight is currently being placed by the Russian forces. Very interesting, I would say. And then the Vostok group of forces, the Eastern group, previously they were in charge also of very huge front line, the whole of Zaporizhia to Donetsk, and clearly they were struggling quite a bit because of the Zaporizhia counteroffensive by the Ukrainians. The Ukrainian counteroffensive hit all the way down the entire Zaporizhia and Donetsk region. It's basically this all their responsibility. Now they have reduced to just the Donetsk front. So previously they were in charge of this entire area here. This was the entire responsibility. It was actually a very big responsibility. Of course, before the counteroffensive, this area here was pretty quiet. The Zaporizhia front was not a front, it was just a line. But yeah, they held and they actually required support coming from the central group of forces. They have to send reinforcement to the Robotine region to hold back the Ukrainian offensive. So this is now no more. And interestingly, their operations also coincide with DPA's own reorganization of the front line, because we actually brought the Velika Novosibirsk sector from the Zaporizhia front into the Donetsk front. Now this is actually a cohesive front right now, in my eyes, and just nice, it coincides with exactly what the Russians are doing. This Donetsk front along with the Velika Novosibirsk sector is under one unit right now, under the yoke group of forces. And perhaps this is the reason why I have changed, because when I was monitoring the battles, I saw that it seems like the Russian push, the probing attacks over at the Zolotan-Neva Persistivka region, attack towards Vodian, the attack towards Staromayorsky, Uruzhaine, and the Prioni seems to be part of the same operation, which is the reason why I brought the Velika Novosibirsk sector into the Donetsk front, because I think that it's easier to report, because they seem to be related. And now I have my corroboration. No, it is true, because now this front line is actually under one army, under the same command, which is why it makes sense when I was looking at it. But I didn't know that there was this change in terms of organization. Of course, this group of forces was also attacking at Novomihailivka, Boyeda, where they have success. They just captured Boyeda, and also attacking Georgievka. So this group of forces is also very active. So it's every single force that currently is in charge of something are getting themselves very busy. And now we go to the Dnipro group of forces, the most useless group of forces in the previous setup, because they were only in charge of Kherson, and which means they are only in charge of basically this area here, the river region, all the way from, I think, the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant going all the way down to the Kherson front, and this is the quiet front, and the battle over here is all very positional until the Ukrainians started to attack. They tried to cross the river and they conducted some beachheads, which was semi-successful until everything started to concentrate on Krinky, which makes zero sense. And so the battle of Krinky still is continuing, but the responsibility have now changed. So this Dnipro group of forces has now expanded control right now. Now not just the Kherson region that they need to care about, and of course the defense of this the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant region, but also now they are now in charge of this new sector, the Kayamsky sector, Orikhiv sector, and Huyapole sector of the Zaporizhia front. So which means that whatever offensive that's currently ongoing over at the Zaporizhia front, because this is the Zaporizhia front, this group of forces, the Dnipro group of forces, is now in charge. They are the one that is conducting this attack towards Orikhiv at Robotine. Oh my god, you probably can't see, so too many icons over there. So they're conducting this attack towards Orikhiv, towards Robotine, over at Verbove, the west of Verbove, and south of Robotine, towards Malash Tomashka, towards Luhivsky. This is the current operation that this Dnipro group of forces is currently operating. And of course, they are also trying to wipe out the Ukrainian beachhead over at Krinky. So this is a reorganization of the armies currently in Ukraine. Very, very interesting situation. So it does shows where the weight is, but even that's the case, there seems to be a severe concentration of forces at Adiyevka. Otherwise, if you look at across all the front line, I think Zapat group of forces is the quietest at this moment. There's no huge offensive right now over the Kupiansk front or the Crimea front. I think Crimea front, yes, they are hitting towards Terny, but no, Bakhmut, Adiyevka, Bakhmut, Sivers Bakhmut, the York group of forces is operating. The Vostok group at Donetsk is operating. Dnipro at Zaporizhia is operating. So Zapat at the Crimea front is operating. So every front line is activated, and all these armies are now all having their own tasks and equal operations. And yeah, it's just very, very interesting to me. So hope this is interesting to you. Do press the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next update.